Welcome back to the Football Forecast. Friday, July 3rd and Saturday, July 4th bring us to more. Round of 32 matches, and both of them carry enormous historical weight for the nations involved. Switzerland face Algeria at BC Place in Vancouver at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Then Australia take on Egypt at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Texas on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. 2 matches, 4 nations. And a data story in both that is well worth understanding before a single ball is kicked. Let me give you the 2 stats that frame everything that follows. Switzerland beat Algeria 1-0 at the 2022 World Cup. Granit Xhaka scored the winner. Everyone. He scored, he assisted, he created. He is the most indispensable player to his nation of any player at this entire tournament. Australia have scored just 1 goal in 3 group games. If the Socceroos want to make a quarter-final for the first time since 2006, they need to find a way to stop the one man who has carried Egypt's entire attacking threat. And nobody at this tournament has found that solution yet. And here's my personal take on this matchday. These are the kind of fixtures where tournament narratives are built. Switzerland's defensive discipline against Algeria's counter-attacking threat, that's the classic knockout clash of styles. And Australia versus Egypt is a test of whether Salah can single-handedly carry a team past a defensively solid opponent. Both matches have the potential to produce the defining moments of this round of 32. Let us break both matches down completely. Match 1. Switzerland versus Algeria. BC Place, Vancouver. 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Switzerland topped Group B with 7 points, the cleanest, most efficient group stage record of any European team that is not France or Spain. A 1-1 draw with Bosnia in their opener, then a 1-0 win over Qatar. And then the match that confirmed their position as genuine knockout contenders. A 2-1 win over Canada, the co-hosts, in a game where Switzerland were organized, disciplined, and ultimately clinical when the moment arrived. They have conceded just 2 goals across 3 group games. And both of those concessions came from set-piece situations rather than open-play defensive breakdowns. Their back line, anchored by Manuel Akanji, who brings the same physical authority and aerial quality he has shown for Inter Milan after winning Serie A, and the versatile Nico Elvedi, who has been a consistent presence for Borussia Mönchengladbach, has been one of the most reliable defensive partnerships at this tournament. On team news for Switzerland, Murat Yakin arrives at BC Place with no significant injury concerns and a fully available squad. Granit Xhaka, as captain, is the most important player in Switzerland's system. His ability to control tempo from deep midfield, win the ball in central duels, and distribute with the accuracy and composure of a player who has been doing this at the highest level for over a decade, makes him the tactical reference point around whom everything else in Switzerland's setup is organized. When Xhaka has time on the ball, Switzerland builds attacks at a rhythm that is difficult to press out of. When Xhaka is rushed or bypassed, Switzerland's midfield structure loses its anchor, and the wide defenders are forced to make more individual decisions. Breel Embolo in attack has been effective in the group stage. His ability to hold up the ball and link midfield to attack gives Switzerland a reference point in the final third that has drawn defenders and created space for Dan Doy's wide runs. Gregor Kobel, in goal, has been one of the most assured shot-stoppers at this tournament, making 2 key saves against Canada when the game was in the balance. Algeria. The data around their group stage tells the most interesting statistical story of any third-place team at this World Cup. 6 goals in 3 games. The highest attacking output of any team that advanced through the best third-placed route. That number tells you something very important about what Algeria are capable of going forward. Their 3-3 draw with Austria in the final group match, a game that had everything, where Algeria came from behind and scored 3 times against one of the more technically sophisticated pressing sides at this tournament, showed that this squad has the attacking variety and the individual quality to score goals. Against organized European defenses, Riyad Mahrez is the player that defines Algeria's ceiling. 34 years old, Algeria's captain and their all-time leading goalscorer. This is almost certainly his last World Cup. His career has taken him from Leicester, City's extraordinary title-winning season to the heights of Champions League football with Manchester City. And he has won more trophies than any Algerian player in the modern era. At 34, he does not have the same acceleration he had at 28. But his ability to receive, in wide positions, cut inside onto his left foot, and generate chances from nothing remains elite. Houza Mayuwa, the former Lyon and Roma midfielder who now plays for Dinamo Zagreb, provides the creative midfield presence, alongside Mahrez. Rayhan Aït-Nouri, at left-back, has been one of the most dynamic attacking fullbacks in this group stage. His overlapping runs and his delivery into the box are a genuine threat against defensive systems that focus their attention on Mahrez centrally. Said Benrahma adds the wide creative threat from the opposite flank. I want to highlight something about this Algeria squad under Vladimir Petkovic. The Swiss-born coach knows Swiss football inside out. He managed in Switzerland for years. He knows Xhaka's game. He knows Akanji's tendencies. He knows exactly how to set up against the Swiss system. That insider knowledge is a genuine tactical advantage that goes beyond the stat sheet, and it's the reason Algeria's preparation for this match has been so meticulous. The head-to-head between these nations in competitive football is completely one-sided in Switzerland's favour. 2 wins, 2 draws, 0 losses for Switzerland. And the most recent competitive meeting, 2022, Qatar World Cup group stage saw Switzerland win exactly 1-0 through Xhaka's decisive goal. Algeria have spent 4 years knowing they lost to Switzerland at a World Cup and wanting the chance to revisit that result. That motivation is real, and it will be felt in every pressing duel and every challenge in the first 20 minutes at BC Place. Tactically, this match is structured around one central question. Can Algeria's attacking transitions break down Switzerland's defensive block before Switzerland's possession and set-piece quality produce a goal? Algeria's best moments throughout this tournament have come when they win the ball quickly in their own half and release runners into space before the opponent can reorganize. Against Switzerland's low block, those transition moments require either a mistake from Xhaka in possession, which he rarely makes, or a tactical adjustment that draws Switzerland higher and opens space behind their defensive line. If Algeria can force Switzerland to push their fullbacks forward, Mahrez and Aït-Nouri have the pace and the technical quality to exploit those gaps. Switzerland's set-piece delivery corner kicks, free kicks from wide areas, has been one of their primary attacking weapons throughout the group stage. Akanji and Elvadi both arrive late at corners, and their physical presence at set pieces creates problems for any defensive organisation that relies on If Switzerland can generate 3 or 4 corners in the second half, they have a realistic route to goal that does not require them to break down Algeria's defensive structure in open play. One thing I'll be watching closely: the midfield battle between Xhaka and Aït-Nouri. If Xhaka controls the tempo, Switzerland dictates the game. If Aït-Nouri can press Xhaka into rush decisions, Aït-Nouri can create the transitions that Mahrez thrives on. That duel is the heartbeat of this match. Our assessment: Switzerland's defensive discipline and Xhaka's midfield control give them the structural advantage in a match where the first goal is likely decisive. But Algeria have scored 6 goals in this tournament, and Mahrez is capable of producing the individual moment that changes everything. Switzerland win this 1-0 or 2-1 with the same controlled efficiency that got them through Group B. Algeria score if Mahrez finds a half space behind Switzerland's right back on a counter. But Switzerland's clean sheet record makes a shutout the most likely statistical outcome. Now let us move to match 2. Australia vs Egypt. AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. 1 p.m. Eastern, on Saturday. This match has a statistical asymmetry between the two sides that is as stark as any in the entire round of 32. Egypt have conceded just 1 goal in 3 group games, the best defensive record in Group G. They have beaten Iran and New Zealand, drawn with Belgium, and done it all with a team that is functionally built around preventing the opposition from scoring, and then creating moments for one specific player to make the difference. And that player is Mohamed Salah. On team news for Egypt: Hussam Hassan has no significant injury concerns. Salah is fit, available, and has been the most involved player in his team's goalscoring at this entire year World Cup. His direct goal contribution in the win over Iran and his involvement in the decisive moment against New Zealand make him statistically the most impactful individual player at this tournament relative to his team's output. Mustafa Mohamed has provided the physical presence in attack that creates the second ball situations Salah exploits. Mahmoud Trezeguet has added the wide creative threat that gives Egypt an outlet when direct central play is blocked. Ahmed Hegazi and Mohamed El Nini form the organised defensive spine that has kept Egypt's goals against tally to 1. I find Egypt's tactical evolution under Hussam Hassan fascinating. They've built a system that is almost entirely designed around Salah's strengths, but they've also created a defensive foundation that keeps games tight. That combination is dangerous in knockout football, because it means Egypt can win 1-0 without playing their best football. They just need one Salah moment. And he almost always delivers. Australia arrive at AT&T Stadium, having played 3 group stage matches, and found the back of the net exactly once. 1 goal in 270 minutes of football. Craig Goodwin scored against Paraguay in the group opener, and has been their most creative outlet ever since. But the overall attacking production of this squad has been the lowest of any team that has advanced to the round of 32 at this tournament. Tony Popovic's side drew with Paraguay, lost to USA, and drew with Turkey, 3 matches where their defensive organisation was solid enough to stay in every game, but where their attacking intent was never able to produce the sustained pressure that generates multiple opportunities. Harry Souter is Australia's most important player tonight, and the reason for that is straightforward. His individual battle against Salah, both in aerial duels and in the physical 1-versus-1 situations that Salah creates with his movement off the ball, will determine whether Australia can hold Egypt to 0. Souter is a physically imposing centre-back with good aerial ability, but Salah's movement is not primarily aerial. It is lateral, dropping wide, creating angles, appearing in the half space between Australia's central defenders and their wide midfielders. That kind of movement requires the entire defensive unit to shift and communicate, not just the centre-back to win his individual duel. Jackson Irvine in midfield will also be crucial, his ability to disrupt Egypt's build-up and prevent clean service to Salah is just as important as Souter's defensive work. The tactical problem for Australia is that they need to score to win, and their attacking output suggests they are unlikely to score more than once, even in their best performance. Against Egypt's defensive record, 1 goal conceded, organised shape, El Nini winning balls in midfield, Australia would need to convert from a set-piece, or generate a moment of Souter arriving from a corner, to have a realistic route to goal. Their most likely path to advancement is 1-0 defending for 85 minutes, and scoring from a set-piece that Egypt failed to clear. But that path requires Egypt's defence to make a mistake they have not made at this tournament. And it requires Australia's attack to convert a single opportunity with the clinical finishing that their group stage record suggests they struggle to produce. Or Mobile and Craig Goodwin will need to produce something extraordinary on the wings. But Egypt's fullbacks have been solid all tournament. This is the toughest defensive test Australia have faced. Our assessment: Egypt have the defensive record, the tactical organisation, and the individual match winner that Australia simply do not have an equivalent for. Salah in a knockout game at a tournament, where he has been directly involved in every goal his team has scored, is one of the most dangerous statistical forces remaining in this round of 32. Egypt win this 1-0 or 2-0, with Salah scoring or creating the decisive goal. Australia may create one genuine opportunity from a set piece, but Egypt's defensive discipline prevents them from converting it. The Socceroos exit this World Cup having made it further than many expected, but without finding the attacking solution that knockout football demands. 2 more round of 32 stories. Algeria pursuing 4 years of World Cup revenge against the man who scored the winner last time, Granit Xhaka, at BC Place in Vancouver. And Australia hoping to stop the one player who has been involved in everything Egypt have created. Knowing their own attacking firepower is the lowest of any team still standing in this tournament. Drop a comment below right now with your score predictions for both matches. Can Mahrez produce the moment of individual magic that finally gives Algeria their first ever World Cup quarter-final? And is there any realistic path for Australia to stop Salah and score enough goals to advance? Hit subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell. The round of 32 is almost complete, and the quarterfinal draw is taking shape. We cover every knockout match in full, and we are here until the final. Follow us across all our socials for live reaction, as both results come in this weekend. This is the Football Forecast. We will see you in the next one.